Hello students, this is Pooja Mishra from RDPS. Today we are going to learn history from class 8 and the chapter which we will study today is chapter number 3, ruling the countryside. So in this chapter we will read how East India Company after becoming a Diwan of Bengal earned its revenue by formulating some new methods of revenue collections. So let us begin our chapter. So, look at this picture. In this picture, Robert Clive accepting the legal documents of Diwani of Bengal from the Mughal ruler Shah Alam II in 1765. So, on 12 August 1765, the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II granted the Diwani rights of Bengal to East India Company, and this was granted after the Battle of Buxar in 1764, and this was signed by Shah Alam II and Robert Clive, and now the company became the chief financial administrator of Bengal. So when the company achieved this right, Diwani, the responsibility of administrating the land and organizing the revenues is also came on the shoulders of a company. So not only this, it had to ensure that it could buy the products it needed at a cheaper rates and sell them at a higher rates. After becoming Diwan of Bengal, the company started purchasing cotton and silk from the revenue generated from Bengal. So though the company became a Diwan of Bengal province, still it was working as a trading company, and it was not interested in setting up any regular system of assessments and collection of revenues, and their main aim was to increase the revenue so that they have plenty of money to buy the cotton and silk, but the prices of the goods had increased so far. So now, as we have studied in previous chapters, that the earlier the company was dependent upon the inflow of gold and silver from the Britain for purchasing goods in India. But after 1765, things changed, and now the revenues from Bengal was enough to purchase goods. But here also a big problem arose. What was this problem? So the problem is this: the economy of Bengal, as they were being forced by the company to sell their products at a cheaper rate. Peasants were unable to pay the heavy dues laid on them, and agriculture were collapsing. So the economy of Bengal was facing a deep crisis. Artisans and peasants left Bengal, and the big famine of 1770 hit Bengal, and this killed about 10 million populations there, washing out and about one third of the population of Bengal. So as such incidents took a place which ruined the economy heavily, and the company then felt they needed to improving the agricultures. So most of the company officials were of the view that there was a great need of investing in land and agricultures in order to improve it, because the fall in agriculture was resulting into a great loss of revenues into the company. So the company wanted to improve agriculture in order to stop the decrease in its revenues. So after the long thinking, in 1793 the company took the decisions of introducing the revenue collection method, and this method introduced by the Lord Cornwallis in 1793. This is the picture of a Lord Cornwallis, and he was the governor of India when the permanent settlement was introduced. So as per the permanent settlements, the Rajas and the Talukadars were now known as the Zamindars, and they had to collect the rent from peasants, which was fixed permanently by the Britishers. and the main aim behind this was that zamindars will only pay the fixed amount to Britishers, since the demand of revenues will not increase and will invest into the improvement of agriculture and to generate the extra income of for themselves. But it did not go as per the plans, so the following problems are created. So the permanent settlements, however, did not prove to be that useful as thought by the company. Soon it was discovered by the zamindars were not investing in the improvement of land because the rent fixed was so high and that it became impossible for the zamindars to pay it off. So as a result, they were deprived of zamindaris. And the second problem is zamindaris were auctioned by the company. So even the zamindaris were also put on auction by the company. Meanwhile, something new was noticed by the company, that the situations was changing as the prices of the goods were increasing, and slowly but gradually the agriculture was also expanding. This led to the benefit of zamindars, but for the company it remained same as the revenues. So it created the third problem of permanent settlements. Through the income was increasing, but the company was getting a fixed revenues. Then fourth one is a zamindars not keen to improve the agricultures. Means even the zamindars were not keen to invest or improvement of agriculture because they were gaining a lot without putting any efforts in the form of the rent that they obtained from the peasants. So on the other hand, the cultivators found it extremely oppressive as they had to pay a very high rent to zamindars, though they did not have ownership over the land that they worked on. So now that we know the problems being faced by the company regarding a generation of revenues, and in next class we will move on the solutions of the problem of this company. Thank you.